In the intricate chessboard of Middle Eastern geopolitics, few pieces carry the weight of Iran's nuclear program, casting a long shadow over the already volatile conflict with Israel. For decades, the world has watched as this saga unfolds, a complex dance of ambition, fear, and diplomacy that continuously teeters on the brink of open warfare. The story begins not with weapons, but with atoms for peace. In the mid-20th century, Iran, with Western support, embarked on a journey to harness nuclear power for energy. Yet, as political tides shifted, the program's nature became a source of intense international debate. Suspicions grew that behind the veil of civilian energy lay a more clandestine military ambition, turning a domestic project into a global security concern. By the early 2000s, revelations of undeclared nuclear facilities triggered alarms across the globe. The international community, led by bodies like the IAEA, responded with a mixture of diplomacy and pressure. Sanctions were imposed to curb Tehran's progress, while intense negotiations sought to find a peaceful resolution. A diplomatic tightrope walk over a chasm of mistrust. This diplomatic marathon culminated in the 2015 Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, or JCPOA. The landmark agreement saw Iran agree to significant restrictions on its nuclear activities, including limits on uranium enrichment and intrusive inspections, in exchange for the lifting of crippling economic sanctions. For a brief moment, it seemed a new chapter of stability had begun, and tensions eased. However, the respite was short-lived. In 2018, the United States unilaterally withdrew from the deal, reimposing and escalating sanctions. In response, Iran began to systematically breach the JCPOA's limits, enriching uranium to levels closer than ever to weapons grade. This tit-for-tat escalation shattered the fragile diplomatic framework and pushed the region back toward a breaking point. For Israel, a nuclear-armed Iran is not a strategic problem, but an existential threat. Viewing Tehran's nuclear ambitions through the lens of its sworn enemy's rhetoric, Israel has drawn a series of red lines. It has consistently signaled its readiness to use all means necessary, including preemptive military strikes and covert operations, to prevent Iran from crossing the nuclear threshold. The nuclear issue reverberates far beyond the direct Iran-Israel standoff, reshaping the entire Middle East. It fuels proxy conflicts from Syria to Yemen, hardens alliances, and drives a regional arms race. Each step Iran takes in its nuclear program amplifies the drumbeat of war, making the delicate balance of power in the region even more precarious. Today, the world stands at a critical juncture. Diplomatic channels remain strained, and the window for a peaceful resolution is narrowing. The path forward is uncertain, caught between the hope for renewed negotiations and the ever-present risk of a military confrontation that could engulf the region and have devastating global consequences. Ultimately, Iran's nuclear program is more than just a technical or political issue. It is the central, high-stakes variable in the long-running Iran-Israel conflict. How this nuclear saga concludes will not only determine the future of these two nations, but will also shape the landscape of international security for decades to come.